Hi, my name is Nomi Silverman. I am a friend of MVB. I am making ricotta cheese today. Now, ricotta cheese is not technically a recipe in our MVB Comfort Food Cookbook. However, it is an ingredient in a number of the recipes, including the eggplant lasagna, which we made the other night, which is actually quite good. So I thought we would teach you how to make it yourself. It's easy, really not a big deal. It's cheaper than buying it, fresh, good ricotta, and you can actually flavor it the way you wish to. So you can adjust the seasonings and flavorings the way you like to, and it's much better than store-bought. So I have here a half a gallon of whole milk, okay, into which I am adding, this is 1 cup of heavy cream and about half a cup of buttermilk. Now I am adding 1 cup of whole milk yogurt. I happen to like a little bit of vanilla in my ricotta, so I'm adding just a little bit of vanilla there. Sorry for all the purists out there. And into which I am adding the curdling agent, which is our acid. And that is about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, into which I semi-dissolved about 1.5 tablespoons of salt. So now I'm going to whisk that all together. And what we are essentially doing is separating out the milk solids from the whey, the liquid. So you're curdling the milk. So this does not take an incredibly long time. And we want to get it to where it's starting to simmer. And then when it simmers, you'll see the milk solids will start to clump together. And if you leave it on there for a little bit longer, they clump together more. A little less, clumps together less. So it depends on your taste about how solid or how firm you like your ricotta. So we're just going to let it stir here. I choose to use lemon juice because I like the flavor of it. So in this case, my lemons appear to be slightly less acidic. So I added about another tablespoon of lemon to here. You can use white vinegar. White vinegar is more acid stable. And so if you use that, you wouldn't necessarily have to add more because that's fairly stable. It just depends on the... So if you look carefully, you can start to see the way this is coming through, that it's starting to curdle. And you can see on the whisk, the little bits of the curdle that's starting to happen because it's nearing the temperature. So I happen to like my ricotta a little bit on the drier side. So I'm going to, once it comes and starts to curdle, I am going to let it go for another 2 minutes to get as much of the ricotta out as I can. And then I will probably drain it for the full 15 minutes. Ricotta cheese I find a very, very versatile ingredient. While I've used it for the eggplant parmesan in particular, I've also used it on pizza and in many other ingredients. And in addition, ricotta can go savory or sweet, which is a really wonderful thing. You can use it for desserts with a little bit of sugar on it. You can use it in savory dishes that we're used to. All works. And so using all this. Now, we're going to, when we pour it out, I'm going to talk about this, but we want to save the liquid, the whey that comes out of it, because that's equally versatile. And I use that in soups, in stews that can almost replace the buttermilk so that it has the same texture and same qualities as buttermilk. And it's quite a flavorful addition to things where you need liquid, if you're using liquid. If you're making rice, use the whey instead of water. That adds a lovely flavor to it. Rice pudding, use the whey for rice pudding. All kinds of things that, Once you have it, you'll start to realize everything you can do with it. Now you can see it's really starting to bubble here and boil and to curdle. It's looking good. I'm trying to control the heat so it's not a massive boil and doesn't run over the edge like milk tends to want to do. Okay, so it's reached its stage where I'm going to now empty it. I'm emptying it into actually fruit storage bag because apparently cheesecloth there's a run on cheesecloth and nobody has any. So normally I would use 4 layers of cheesecloth, quadruple layer, that's wet, layered into our drainage pan, underneath which I put a bowl to capture the whey. So we're going to carry that over, and we're going to carefully pour it into here. So this is the ricotta draining, and underneath here is the whey that's separating out. So we're going to let this sit for like 15 minutes or so I can get as much of the whey out as possible. So you can see it's very loose up here, and that will, as it drains, become tighter and tighter. So drains for 5 minutes, it's one thickness. Drains for 15, it's a little bit tighter and a little bit firmer, which I like it. Tonight, I'm thinking we may add this to some pesto and some tomato sauce and use this on a wonderful pizza. So this is what the whey looks like. It's kind of a yellowy, probably from the lemon juice, but a viscous mixture, liquid here. And if we had smell-o-vision, this is such a wonderful heavenly smell. I wish I could tell you that. And warm ricotta has an excellent feeling, aroma, just straight off the stove once it's ready. Oh, it can't be beat. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, and you can see it actually looks like ricotta. I tend to like to pull up the corners, and squeeze a little to get a little bit more of the very hot whey out. You know, the more you get out, the drier it becomes. And here's our ricotta and the rest of our whey. And as you can see, it makes a lot of whey. Perhaps a little less ricotta, but it's really good. The recipe is very forgiving. So you can adjust the salt level to your tastes. You can use, like we said, white vinegar or lemon juice. You can add, you don't have to put buttermilk in. You don't, in none of that, it's just the curdling part. So you can adjust and experiment, have a little fun, and have some fresh ricotta, and try it on pizza or eggplant lasagna or something completely unexpected. It doesn't have to be Italian. Enjoy. Buon appetit. Bye. That's good. Okay. Please go to our recipes, get the cookbook, www.mvbhsaa.com. 168 recipes, 60 different countries. Have a lot of fun. Please help us. It's a good cause.